Morning everyone, and today I'm going to introduce you on how to do a couple things in Desmos, particularly create your own graph from a data table and how to analyze and save it. First, you're going to need to go to desmos.com/calculator. Next, take a look in the top right corner. You might see my name here. That's where you get to sign in. Sign in if you want to save your work. You definitely want to save your work. Now, how do you make a table? Look at this little plus sign. It says add item. I'm going to go ahead and add a table here. You can have them as X and Y's. My X table is usually going to be T for time. And my Y table is going to be some distances. I'm going to call it D for displacement. Or I could call it P for position. Or I could call it X for position. I'll call it P. Let's input any old values. Maybe I'm going to have my time increment go up by 0.1. And as you can see, it actually begins to fill in on its own if you're going by a set value. Now I'm going to put in some data values that I have gotten. I got 8, 17, 25, 34, 42, 51, 58, and 67. I have all of these data points now. This is delightful. And you might be wondering, well, where are the data points? Why can't I see them? Well, if you take a look at the review screen, we actually can't see them. If I click and drag, oh, there's some data points. Oh, this is not very seeable. I can't see that very well. What I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to change my view screen to help me see what's going on. So I'm going to hide my expression list just to give me a little more view. And if you go over to the wrench in this top corner that says graph settings, you can actually change the X and Y axis. Well, I know my data went between 0 on the x-axis to 0.8, so maybe I'm going to have it go to 1.0. And I remember that this was time, so I'm actually going to label it. I'm going to call it time, and time I measured in this case in seconds. The y-axis, maybe I want to start from 0, right? That's fine. And the highest value that we had was 67. So I'm going to give me a little bit of space. I'm going to put 75 as my axis. Oh, there's all my data. That's nice and viewable. Excellent. Now I did say that this was position, right? Position, and it was in centimeters. Now that I've used my graph settings to reset my view screen, I can now see all of my data, and I'd be very capable of doing any analysis on it, such as adding a best fit line or anything else that I need. But before you end, take a moment to go ahead and save your graph. By saving your graph, there we go, I've saved it. You can also rename it by clicking that name, and I'm going to rename it test data. And that allows me to save it. And if I ever log off, and if I ever can find it again, once I've logged in using my account settings, you could go over to this bar here of the 3 lines that says Open Graph. And you can see that I have saved graphs. There's test data. I also have velocity time graphs and a sweet awesome linear graph. I have so many different graphs. This is where I've saved them. All right, that's all for now. See you in the next video.